Hey there guys, welcome back. Time for some more baseball stars. Let's go ahead and jump straight back into it. And look, I accidentally pushed the start button. So I know that's going to end up being hugely controversial. Here, I'll go back here. Trying to move the audio over to the game audio, and instead I end up moving the camera. So much for that. Let's go take a look here and sort of see what's going on. We have 5 now here on this team. We have some prestige, which is good. Everybody's wondering about center field 1, if we should get rid of him or not. Apologies. The thing about him is that he doesn't have the greatest numbers in the world, but he did hit a big inside the park home run for us, that somebody reminded me of. So I don't know. Maybe we'll hold on to him for a little while longer. This dude, Bat A1, I don't know what's up with his mouth, but we're probably going to get rid of him next. So your time is coming. And then eventually we do have to make some improvements on running and defense, as people keep telling me. Some of these guys can play defense fairly well, but we could use a little bit more, I think, especially running. So that's probably what we're going to have our eyes on next. We have also been talking about pitching. Right, so I don't know what you guys think about this. Somebody was saying we probably shouldn't have Charlie Brown have 15 speed and instead improve the drop. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll probably get rid of these pitchers one at a time, starting from the ones who are in the bullpen all the time, and then Peppermint Patty's going to be here. So we've got a little bit more work to do. But what we really need to do now is we need to beat the lovely ladies again for the 6th time. So this is a 7-game series. Once the 7 games are done, I'm not sure what we're going to do. We might do some exhibition games to sort of see how we do against different competition before we figure out what we're going to do next. I don't know. Let me know what you think we should do. All right, so there you go. We've got a beautiful day out there. It's just a little bit above freezing, and we do still have some ice outside. So we're just barely... Yeah, got that stolen base. We're just barely seeing that snow melt. It's coming. It's melting really, really slowly though. So we still can't park in front of our house because we have this huge ice bank out there. But that's the way that it is. We're gonna score a run here, by the way, or maybe not. we're not quite that fast. Okay, well we need to get Lucy a little bit faster than that. Then we can start doing some fun things. So I don't know, exactly what our approach is going to be, other than trying to get some more and better pitching, definitely. We're getting to that point where there's a lot of different directions we can go, and we have to decide exactly what it is we want to do. The difficult thing for us is making sure that we have enough games left to play to keep things interesting. So I don't know, at some point in time it's going to be in our best interest to just, bite the bullet and go for the 100 whatever game season. So maybe we will do that here soon, or maybe not. I don't know. I do think that it's probably best for us to play some exhibition games first, so that we can see how we do against some of the harder teams, and also so we can go back and crush the S&K Crushers again. That'd be fun. All right, let's see how Linus does. The big risk, of course, in this game when you're playing exhibition games is that you run the risk of not winning, in which case you don't get any money. So, not that you necessarily will win in a league game, but with exhibition games, when you're playing just against random teams, you might not win, and then you have, a game that you played where you weren't able to improve your team and all that stuff. So this game naturally lends itself to a certain amount of conservatism, except when you're running the bases like this. Here you want to be as free, swinging, and liberal as possible, right? So anyway, so we are. Here's Violet. I don't know, do we have a chance? Yeah, we made it 5-0 now with 1 out. So, who knows, maybe we can win by the 10-run rule. If we can do that, then we'll have to figure out another game to play today. Well, that's not going to do it. And here's center field 1, who's desperately hoping to hold on to that roster spot. That's not going to do it. So 5-0, and now we finally start pitching. It's pitcher B1 again, who's up there. we're doing okay. I mean, it's not that we have awful defense, right? We're good enough to throw the ball around like that. But somebody else was saying, and I agree with this, that at some point in time, we really do have to think about like trying to get guys who have like 14 or 15 for batting and hitting, so we can get a little bit more power. If we had a little bit more power, that would make these games a lot different. It would be a lot easier for us to score huge amounts of runs if we just had that little bit more power there in our swing. So there you have it, 5-0. We've only given up 1 hit, so we're doing pretty well so far. Big question is whether we can get them to change pitchers early. That's the real thing we want to see, but it looks like it's not going to happen yet. Not going to get through, unfortunately. So sad. 2 out. Oh, and that does it. So much for all of our plans of scoring 5 more runs in this inning. That's not going to work. On we go to the next half inning. All right. Good times, good times. So, a lot of things have been going on behind the scenes as usual. I'm noticing that the video about the 1982 baseball cards is starting to get a lot more attention, which is interesting. It's always a really good sign. Which fielder do I have control of, right? It's so cheap, man. It's so cheap. So I've got a fielder who's just standing there with his back to the plate, like, you know, sort of, I don't know what he's doing. He's like waiting for something, or I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that should have been an out, turned into a double. Oh, and that actually was an error, but we prevented it from being anything really bad. So there's 2 out just like that. Maybe our luck is better than I thought, huh? Alright, still 5-0. We've only given up 1 base hit in each inning. Let's score 5 more runs and get on our way. Shermy has emerged as a great power hitter. Wasn't much power there though, but that's good enough for a base hit. Again, it's that speed that we need a little bit more of. A little bit more speed and we'll be doing fine. Linus, of course, is the other one with 2 home runs in this minor small league, but that's not going to do it. Got way underneath it. I know that they do occasionally, the computer that is, will occasionally drop balls like that, but we haven't seen that happen yet. We haven't seen very many errors at all, other than the ones that we've made. Oh. I couldn't remember how many outs there were. Yeah, that was pretty bad. It doesn't count as an error, but it probably should. So, all right, still 5-0. We'll just sort of forget that any of that ever happened. And so it is. So if you're curious about that, if you've never played this game before, in those instances where the ball is hit to a place where the fielder just like is not seeable, you don't have to necessarily worry that much about moving him to the right place. The game will move him into position automatically. Like if you can't see him, the game will move the guy to the place that he needs to be. And it happens like, it just happens, so. Anyway, it's one of those kind of weird baseball stars things. It's got, there's kind of like a hybrid fielding system, I want to say, where it's kind of user controlled, but not really. It's also kind of like, you know, controlled by the auto fielding in the game. When this game came out, auto fielding was sort of starting to become a thing in Famicom games, and I think that's part of the reason why they put this in. And whether you want auto fielding or not is actually, even to this day, kind of still a controversial thing. I mean, just as much as me saying, like, you know, oh, I prefer to use auto fielding in Ken Griffey Jr. on Super Nintendo is enough to get people really upset. So I don't know why we're having 5-hit, because he can't hit at all. He's basically our prestige machine. That's the only thing he's good for. For a player who really sucks, he's really prestigious. Alright, let's get them out again, and well, that's not going to do it. We want to get them out. We want to make short work of all this, so we can go on and do other things. Yeah, that wasn't a great play there by our third baseman, so we do still need to have some infield help, because there are teams out in this game that will take advantage of a poor throw to first base, or to second base like that. There you go. We would have had a double play there anyway if there was only one out, so pretty good. That'll fall. Yeah, she's got this easily. Yep. Lucy's really grown up, huh? It was not that long ago that she would never have been able to make that. I was almost going to have her try to score there. She's not quite that fast. It's going to take a little while for us to get her up to that kind of speed. Man, that's long gone. So Shermy does it again. That's number 3. 8-0 now, and here we go. See if we can go back to back here. Not quite, but this is still a positive development. Yeah, he just needs to actually get there in time, and he's got it. A double for Linus. And let's see if we can score 2 more here. The lovely ladies are not a particularly good fielding club. 9-0. So normally, I think the SNK Crushers would have caught that ball. This team, though, is not quite that good. So much for that. There's gonna fall. And there's number 10. Easy as that. 10-0 lead. Now we have to get them out in their half of the 5th inning, so the game continues. Which, of course, means that we can keep piling it on. And it's easy to pile it on when they make decisions like that. It'd be nice to see another one of those inside the park home runs here, but I don't know if we're going to see it. Oh, I didn't know Grace had a fastball like that still. I thought that she was tiring. Yes, that's where the speed comes in handy. Get out of the double play, and then we can have a pinch hitter here. We don't technically need one, but we'll do it anyway. So, I do think we're going to end up playing another game here today. I've got a funny feeling that we're going to end up winning this one after 5 full innings. It might take us a while to get to the bottom of the 5th, actually, the way things have been going. Whoops. Alright, so that worked. I was kind of surprised that that throw came into second base so quickly, but so it is. Now we have the bases loaded for our power hitters. Like I said, it might take us a little while to get to the bottom of the 5th inning. Let's see if Shermy can hit number 4 here. No, but we're going to score more runs, that's for sure. All right, so there you go. Here comes Linus. Let's see if he can hit number 3. "14 runs. I gotta wonder where all these runs were in the previous games that we played. Seems like we have some games where we can't get anything to land at all, and now we have 15 runs in this one, and we haven't even been playing that long. Here comes good old Pigpen. And they're infield throwing home as if this were like a really close game. So now Violet doesn't have any home runs yet in this series. That's not going to do it, unfortunately, but this will drive in a whole bunch. So it's a good thing that we got her speed up a little bit so she didn't get thrown out there. 18-0 now. Bad decision. That's my favorite line, by the way, from NBA Jam. Play the NBA Jam arcade game, and if you try to dunk with no time left on the clock, I'll tell you, bad decision. Well, that does it. So they finally get out of it. We scored 13 runs in that half inning. Yeah. Unless something really bizarre happens here, we should be headed for a second game for the first time. Which is great, right? If you guys are watching through the whole thing, as soon as YouTube sees like a really high, you know, whatever it is, duration watched rate or something like that, then we'll get a lot of people watching this video, right? Hopefully something like that will happen. Now, the big question is, do we play the Lovely Ladies again, or do we, you know, what exactly do we do here for a second game? I think that's probably what we'll do. We'll probably play them again for the final game of the series. Boy, we just barely got there. So 18-0, we win. 22 hits, 1 error, so they did count that as an error, even though nothing happened. Pitcher C1 ended up getting the victory, and we should get extra money, I think, if we win by this margin. We do get extra money, but it's because we're very prestigious now, because we have 5, and he's very, very well known. Anyway, the big question was, do we spend money now, or do we just wait till later? What I want to see here is, okay, we're not going to worry about him quite yet. His prestige is up to 15, that's the important part. So 30,000, 40,000, 40,000. We're not going to touch any 40,000 people this time around. We won't worry too much about him. Could improve Snoopy, who's on the bench. We could improve Frida, who probably should start starting games pretty soon. Schroeder also, we probably need to improve, and Sally. Okay, so what I think we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit here. Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. Trying to think here of what we want to do with him. Max him out on that. And we'll give him a little bit of a running. So that should make Pigpen into a monster to try to deal with. And then Schroeder's the other one that we want to get a little bit from. And I think we'll do Frida as well. Yeah, look at this. We've had some pretty good draws here. There we go, and that gives us a little bit of room. We do have some money left over. In fact, if we want, we could probably get rid of a player, bring somebody else along, probably pitcher C1. So let's go ahead and get rid of pitcher C1. I know pitcher C1 just won that game, but we're going to go ahead and do this. here? Max 74, max 78, 74, 72. Alright, let's go ahead and go for this. And we will change names right now because we have another game coming up soon. So we're gonna call this guy Spike because he kind of looked like Spike. No prestige at all, so we'll go over to other abilities. And we'll get this prestige up all the way. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Spike now has a lot of prestige, which will help us earn more money when we go ahead and play this final game of the series. So here we go. And of course, once we win this one, we get a lot of extra money as well because we won the series. So I'm going to do something that might be controversial here, but we're going to put, whoops. We're going to put Frida in this game because she's an awesome player all of a sudden. And let's see what happens. I haven't moved Pigpen around at all in the lineup or anything like that, so let's just see what happens here. Hopefully Charlie Brown can last a little while. Well, that's not going to do any good, is it? Alright, so here you go, some extra baseball. I did forget to say my spiel, but yeah, if you enjoy this, consider becoming a YouTube member or supporting me over on Patreon. Links for both are in the description. You can also check out the Baseball Replay Journal on Substack. I still need to write today's post and hopefully also tomorrow's so I can get ahead again. That's another sort of big headache. All sorts of things to blame. I prefer to blame the weather for my own lack of doing it right. Anyway, so check that out if you get the chance. And, you know, there are different ways to support me, different things you can read. About that blog, by the way, technically speaking, if you're looking at this from the vantage point of like crass commercialism, I've technically done it wrong because everything except for the podcast episodes are free. And then I didn't do a podcast episode last week because I was too busy. So we got to get that going here today. Actually, we'll see what I come up with. Well, that didn't go well, Lucy. What happened? All right. But anyway, you should go check it out anyway. Everything's free. You know, it's maybe not exactly the greatest lesson in terms of like capitalism, but you know, it's a lot of fun. There are a lot of really cool posts on there. If you're a fan of baseball history, especially, I think you will find it interesting. If you're interested in baseball replays or projects like that at all, let me know. Go over and check it out, and then let me know. Like I said, just about all the posts are free. What I need to do is get a little bit more time for myself here to make sure that I get things updated exactly the way that I want. We want to get everything set up exactly perfect. So anyway, it takes a little bit of time, but it's a lot of fun. I am going to have another 1919 game coming up. I wanted to do it yesterday, didn't do it. I wanted to do it today. I don't have everything ready yet, so it's going to take a little while. Usually I'm the sort of guy who just will like slap something together and call it good, but for this project I don't want to. I want to do like an actual like bang up job with it. Go baby go, go baby go. Unusual to see that guy hit a triple, huh? Here comes Pigpen, Mr. October. So I give him 15 for freaking whatever it was, hitting or whatever, and that's what he does. Thank you. You guys should have warned me, man. Alright. Anyway, though, yeah, you should go check it out. And yeah, I was saying, yeah, the 1919 series will continue. We have a lot of games to play, and I've been going really, really slowly. But the reason why is because I want to do a really good job doing research. So I'll tell you sort of the way that I get with doing this research. I realized that there are a whole bunch of issues of different Washington, D.C. area newspapers The next game is going to be the Philadelphia Athletics at the Washington Senators, which includes Walter Johnson pitching his first game of the season. And I want to read as much as I possibly can, which is the reason why it's been going slowly. I also want to get around and like look at who different players are and get to know them, so that when I do my commentary, people want to listen to it and stuff like that. So anyway, this is all, the delays are all actually like legitimately in the name of trying to make it a better product. It frustrates me as well, but this is the world that we have. It also doesn't help when I'm spending time at night playing Couture sports baseball. Shoot. There we go. So the story behind that is that I was actually about to get ready that night for bed. Get ready for what? Get ready for bed. And I was thinking, you know what? I want to do one more, like right before I go to bed. We'll do one more game. And that's where I ran into Couture Sports Baseball. It was an unforgettable line, let me tell you. And I thought, well, I've got to get to the end of this game, and I could tell after a while that was not going to happen. That's probably my new worst NES baseball game of all time. For those of you who are fans of LJN's Major League Baseball, I think that we have found a game that is actually worse than Major League Baseball. Somebody, I can't remember your username, man, but somebody always comments whenever I mention that game, so you can go on and comment again and tell everybody all about, how you feel about me mentioning it once again. But so the funny thing is, yesterday when I watched the AVGN episode for the Aladdin Game Enhancer, I realized when I was watching it that I'd never actually watched the whole episodes because it's a more modern AVGN, and I don't really like him that much. Anyway. I was worried at first that, oh man, this guy's covered everything already. There's not going to be much for me to say. Now, there's going to be a lot for me to say. There's a lot that James Rolfe did not cover in that review. In particular, he spends only like about 50, 60 seconds talking about, free run. He only spent about 60 seconds actually talking about that baseball game. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to take into consideration. So it's going to be a really good video. You're going to want to watch it. I probably could have scored on that, actually. Oh, whatever. Pigpen hit us a grand slam. Leon, whatever her name is, she doesn't really, she doesn't want any piece of Pigpen. She keeps throwing that ball right at him. I swear she's like Bob Gibson. Yeah, see, look at that. Hit him right in the face. Bet you wouldn't do that to a girl. Yeah, okay, I think that we're to the point with this team where we really need to consider doing a bigger series against, more difficult opposition. Now that we're up 8-0 in whatever inning this is, the second. If we score 2 more runs, this game's over. And then we're not going to get our YouTube watch time bonus, man. Speaking of 1919, we need somebody to come over and fix the games in these series. Oh, come on, Sally. I tell you can't get good help these days. So that pitch was not a particularly good pitch. That had a lot of the plate. Anyway, when it comes to the Couture Sports, like James Rolfe played a little bit of it. I say James Rolfe played it. If you're an insider, you know that was probably Mike Matei. But having played that game, I really feel sorry for anybody who has to play it. I personally do not plan on playing that game ever again. The one nice thing about it is that the names of the teams are actually pretty cool and pretty innovative. The bad part about that game is its very existence. I mean, everything about this game is just horrible. It's a great example of how not to make a baseball game. So we're going to celebrate its awfulness with a video dedicated just to this game. We'll see how that goes. There's another example of me giving all sorts of points and, things to hit her, and all she does is, like, ground straight back to the pitcher, so that wasn't very helpful. And, we're not going to win 10-0 if you guys are not getting base hits. We got to get some base hits. That's kind of oh, great play. Anyway, the other news is that over on Patreon, we do have a couple of new games and segments of games and stuff. So I've got part of the final game, radio game that Harry Carey did for the St. Louis Cardinals. A lot of you might not realize that Harry Carey was the St. Louis Cardinals broadcaster. He was for 25 years, but people forget about that because of his long tenure with Chicago teams. Actually, it wasn't really that long, right? He went to the Cubs in '82, so he was with the Cubs from '82 until, what, like 95, I think, something like that? Somebody in the comments is going to know exactly when. Yeah, with the Cardinals, it's actually kind of sad to listen to because he's got people like UPI and Associated Press people there, like trying to talk to him, saying that his contract had not been renewed and that it had been announced officially by the team. And Harry Carey had no idea of it, so he's talking about this on the radio and saying, boy, you know, I wonder if this is the last time and all this while the game's going on. Anyway, what happened is the people over at Busch Beer and the marketing department apparently figured that he wasn't a good fit in terms of selling beer, which is hilarious because this is Harry Carey we're talking about. Like, really? You really think that, you know, nobody's going to listen to Harry Carey's voice and think about purchasing beer? I don't know. I mean, I'll be nice to Harry Carey, but even when I'm nice, I'm saying I don't think that he broadcast a single game without having at least something. So, you know what I'm saying. Okay, good. Bad feeling on their part. This ending stays alive. Anyway, that's interesting stuff. So the person who recorded that was actually John Miley of the famous Miley Collection. In fact, a lot of the fragments of Cardinals games we have come from John Miley, who was in the Midwest and who had pretty good quality radio relay to tap into. The problem though is that Miley would often record the whole game and then make clips of the interesting parts. And so for this game, Miley ended up making clips just of the Harry Carey moments. You can't hear the whole game. The parts that Jack Buck broadcast were taken out and stuff. And my understanding is that John Miley then destroyed his master tapes, which is really not a smart thing to do, but so it is. I'm not going to complain too much though, because life does happen. I have had, you know, things that I recorded in the past that ended up being destroyed. But yeah, if you're a collector of this stuff, you're like, dude, you destroyed the freaking master tapes? Like, bro. Anyway, so if you're in on any of the subscription services, right, you can check that out. It's available at basically every tier and all that stuff. You can go download it in FLAC format, which is excellent format. It's going to sound just as good as it sounded when it was recorded. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done this, like, you know, my dad especially, who knows, maybe he's watching this, I doubt it. You know, when I was a kid, my dad was really into listening to old radio, and he liked to sort of pretend that we were in, you know, whatever year it was that we were listening to. It wasn't necessarily so serious with the baseball stuff, but as some of you know, there is a full broadcast day from 1939 out there. It's actually WTOP Washington, which is one of the stations I listen to a lot when I drive. I mean, it's just news talk these days, and so, you know, I listen to whatever federal news there is. But the thing is, my dad like discovered that, and he's like, okay, we're gonna have the full day where we pretend that it's whatever day, September 1939 or something like that, you know, and try to line up the recording with, you know, the time exactly and stuff. Anyway, I'm assuming that most of you probably didn't grow up with influences like that. I think it does some pretty bad things to you, right? I mean, at the very least, I can say, for better or for worse, that the person that I am today is probably directly a result of my father. So that might help explain some of the things that you'll see on this channel and on my other channels. So it is. Take it or leave it, you know. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Fall, 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 fall. Oh, yeah. Hey, this might do it, actually. You think we can do it inside the Parker here? We're going to try. Centerfield 1 gets his revenge. I think he can do it. 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 I think he can... No, he can't. Alright. Don't drop the eggs, right? Just like if you're playing Foursquare in 4th grade, right? Don't drop the eggs. Don't drop grandma's eggs or whatever. Or the dishes, I'm sorry. Actually, we played it both ways when I was a kid. There you go. Game over. Called it. So we have emerged victorious once again. That's the end of this series. We won 7 games and we lost 0, so that's pretty good. Now we get to sit through all of this. So this is the good part where people are going to give me all sorts of watch time, right? Champion once again. We're always the champion. And here we are hanging out in the car. So that's got to be Charlie Brown there with a goatee. I'm not sure who's got the mustache. Maybe that's Snoopy or something, I don't know. Linus has got to be the one with his mouth open holding the ball. Pigpen is not to be seen anywhere. I think he's part of the pavement or something like that. So anyway, we push start, and then we've got to see our standings. So as you know, we won 7, lost 0. Sally had a 555 average. Wow, this is kind of surprising. We had the highest batting averages by far. Home runs, of course, Shermie with 3, Linus with 2, 1 for Pigpen, and Cheryl managed to hit 1. It's interesting, she's not their cleanup hitter. Shermie drove in 12 runs. He's really a force. Violet drove in 9. Remember, she got a bunch in the first game today. Pigpen, Linus, and Lucy with 6 each, and Franklin with 4. Centerfield 1 with 3. It's going to be sad to see him go. Frida with 2, and Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown with 1. How about that? We had a pitcher with a 0 ERA, but Juana, our favorite girl with the great hair, also had a 0 ERA. Can we trade for her? I want to see her on this team. Charlie Brown was the best pitcher with 3 wins. 2 saves for pitcher D1. And that's it. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go back over here, and we want to make sure that we have a little bit of money coming in. Yeah, thanks, bro. There we go. So we have like, what, $100,000 to spend or something like that. We do need to power him up, actually, like the real way. Take us down to like 80,000 something or other. We'll do it once more. Alright, that hopefully means that he's not going to be horrible. But let me know how we should power up these pitchers from here on out. So we have 67,000 left. Probably Franklin's the one that we need to power up because he's in the lineup. Franklin and Frida is what I'm thinking. So let's go ahead and do this. Yeah. Alright. $6. Oh, this is a thing. Alright, there we go. So Frida's looking pretty good as well. Let me know what we should do with her. And we're going to get rid, I think, of pitcher D1. I think it's the next big step to make. Goodbye, pitcher D1. And now, we'll do another overhand pitcher. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Well, I can't afford that pitcher. I can't afford that one either. Okay. Alright. Do something like that. Don't think I have enough to do one more upgrade. Yeah, I don't. So we do have a little bit of a drop here in prestige, so that's something to keep in mind for next time. But there you go. So a real extended version of this here today. People are going to tune in at first and think that I lost the game or that we went to extra innings, but of course that's not what happened. Now, the important thing is I want you to tell me what you want to see happen yet. In fact, I might even put out a poll. Do you want to see me start the 125 game season, or do you want to see like another group of games against the lovely ladies to earn more money. We could do another like 7-game series. What is it that you want to see? Let me know in the comments and I'll make a poll as well. We'll do an image poll so that YouTube pushes it pretty hard. So anyway, there you go. And let me know what to do and I will do it tomorrow. I will talk with you then. Take care.